Guys, look! It's my official MLB The Show shirt!
I'm wearing my official, bruh.
It's official! I love you, Fuzz. I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, Fuzzy wore his MLB shirt that they gave us in his video, so I'm like, I'm behind the 8 ball. I'm sorry. I can't wear it too. But San Diego Studios had the partners out for Community Days of 2019, and the official Sony partners as of right now are myself, Fuzzy, Paul Sporer, Mills, Healy, Clutch Silver, Alex Twin Gaming, and the nose himself, Quash Tag. But I'm going to be totally and completely transparent about everything. I did sign an NDA. Non-disclosure agreement. I am not allowed to talk about certain things until MLB The Show does so themselves. This is super important when it comes to community communication and engagement. If stuff like the partner program is going to grow or be successful, we have to hold up our end of the bargain. I'm not allowed to leak things. Not that I can anyway. They announced that Pudge was in the game last week, and I had no idea that was happening. They did not show us the final rosters. I do not know all of the new legends that are going to be in the game. That will be a surprise to us. Lee Mays, Jason Kendall, Ty Cobb, Rob Dibble, Christy Masseyson. Those are the only 5 guys that we knew about. I didn't even know about Ivan Rodriguez until they announced that. I have no clue what the final roster of players is going to look like. The overalls were not final when we were there, and there was actually still, they had the player of the month cards from 18 in the game on 19. They're obviously not going to be in the game. So they didn't want to show us the entire full roster of players. They wanted to be a surprise for us. Totally reasonable. I would rather it be that way anyway. I like the legend reveals on stream myself. I don't want that excitement to be ruined. So I do not know any new cards that are coming out. So if you have any questions about new guys being in the game, I won't be able to answer those. I'm sorry. But we are going to jump into some gameplay topics that I want to talk to you guys about. I've been talking to the community a little bit about it on Twitter the last week or so. Before we hop into that, I just really want to thank you guys so much. The last year has just been crazy. You know, this hobby that is video games has gone way past a hobby for me, and it's because you guys watch, and I'm just super thankful. Ashley's thankful. It's a blessing, especially with the baby coming, being able to work from home. It's huge. Thank you guys so much. It's going to be a great year, 2019. I'm excited. The Shelfy community, we are coming. I was invited to the cover shoot a few months ago. So when Bryce Harper got his cover shoot done for the cover of the game, I was invited out to that. I got to meet Bryce Harper, have a little conversation with him. Really nice guy. That was an awesome experience. And now the Community Day situation where all 9 partners got invited out to San Diego. Maybe you're new to the channel. Maybe you don't follow me on Twitter. So maybe this is all new to you guys. If you're new to the channel, first and foremost, hit that subscribe button down below. MLB 19 is going to be crazy on this channel this year, and I have a lot of fun stuff coming out soon. I am not allowed to talk about moments or March to October until Sony does themselves. I'll dabble into those details once they release more information. Right now, I do have the green light to discuss gameplay with you guys, and I did get to play some online games. The 9 partners, we were all in a room. We were playing BR against each other. We got to do some drafts, hop into some 3-inning games against each other, and we're gonna discuss a lot of the things that I know you guys have been waiting to hear about, so let's do it. Let's jump into some of these topics. I got my notepad right here. Pitch speeds, 100% higher. This was huge for me. I mean, MLB The Show 18, let's be honest, it was spam off speed down all day long. You could not throw fastballs up, especially in the higher divisions against good competition. It was coming in like slow pitch softball. Can't have it. Pitch speeds are gonna be higher than ever, says Ramon. I can confirm. Pitch speeds look really good in online play while I was out in San Diego. One thing I'm still on the fence about that I got a lot of questions about on Twitter was the PCI range. When we were there, the PCI range could only go slightly outside of the batter's box. It could not go almost entirely out of the batter's box like it could in MLB 18. So the PCI range is going to be a little bit tighter this year. That is something they could update and change depending on how the community responds. But to confirm, the PCI range is a little bit tighter this year, and it's a little bit more secluded to the strike zone. You can only go outside of it a little bit, not entirely like last year. Contact hitters hopefully will be consistently more effective. My first BR run that I did, I drafted D. Gordon, and I got my hands on one of the Ty Cobb cards that were in the game, both heavy contact hitters. 2 guys I had a really good time playing with that started a couple rallies. Squaring up good swings with D. Gordon was resulting in line drive singles, not routine flyouts or soft ground balls. I legitimately felt like I was being rewarded and hitting the ball harder even though these are contact guys, they're still hitting the ball hard for base hits. Whereas last year, it felt like everything power related was strictly home run dependent. Doubles felt impossible last year, mainly because of defensive animations, which we're gonna go ahead and transition into right now. Outfielders, urgency is going to be up, specifically with better defensive players. You're going to have that shield underneath your cards now. You're going to be able to see how good your defender is in the outfield, on field while you're playing. Wall bounces and cutting off balls in the gap felt way better, light years better with upgraded defensive players when I was out in San Diego. And that was a huge reason why there wasn't very many doubles in the game last year. You had lazy routes from the outfielders. You had those crazy trampoline wall bounce animations that just, the ball would hit the wall and shoot 70 feet and it would end up being a triple or an inside the park home run. I felt like I hit more triples and inside the parkers than I did doubles last year. Better defensive animations is something that can fix that. Another thing that can contribute to that are contact hitters being able to hit hard line drives, because those hard line drives are going to turn into doubles quite often. Arm strength on outfielders was another concern that the community had. There's a couple things with this I want to talk about. San Diego Studios has confirmed that they are turning up the arm speed a little bit, so guys like Vlad that have 99 arm strength, they are actually going to be able, you're going to be able to tell, you can tell this year. Another thing, this is something that I was really concerned about with 18, was you could get a good green throw with an outfielder who has a good arm, and it would still be like a 2-hop animation and the catcher would struggle to get it. Now, part of that is the fielding on the catcher. If you have a bad catcher back there, he doesn't do a good job fielding a 1-hop. Obviously, that's going to be partially on the catcher. But a good green throw from a guy like Vlad should almost always be on the chest. Right? I mean, if I get a perfect release and Vlad's not at the warning track, if he's, halfway through the outfield, he's going to hit that guy. He should be hitting that guy in the chest on a perfect release. So that's going to be something that's going to be cleaned up a lot this year as well. And something that you saw in the trailer, those backhand animations for the corner infielders, third base, first base, fielding the ball backhand side, very much better this year. Guys like Nolan Arenado and Matt Chapman are not going to be laying that routine ground ball down the line. And if they do, I'm going to rip my eyes straight out of my skull. Now, feel free to comment down below any questions you have. I will do my best to respond to every individual person. So make sure you hit that sub button, because every time I discuss MLB 19 over the next month leading up until the game's release, I would love to get back and have a nice back and forth with you guys, converse in the comments. So ask me any questions you might have down below. If I'm allowed to answer it, I will. If I'm not allowed to answer it now, I'll come back to you once I am. I had a couple people on Twitter ask me about bunting. I actually did not even attempt to bunt. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. Maybe it's because bunting was almost impossible this year and it's something that I never do, so it didn't cross my mind while I was playing 19. But from the streams and from what some of the other guys have said from the partner program, bunting is going to be a little bit more usable in this year's game. Obviously, you don't want it to be OP like it was in 16, because bunting in MLB 16 was a joke. You could get on base with almost anyone. Drag bunts were the cheesiest thing in the game. You don't want it to go that route, but you do want to be able to effectively bunt runners over. If, you have a shift on, you got a fast guy like D. Gordon at the plate, if you put a shift on D. Gordon, he drops one down the third baseline, you have no one to be mad at but yourself. So bunts like that being effective are going to be very important in this year's game, and it would be nice to see that real life style of bunting come to the game versus the cheesiness of bunting, because not all bunting is cheese. There is effective strategical bunting that exists in baseball that should be in the game, and that's what they're working towards getting in. The pitcher wall, this is something that has been heavily discussed all year long because it was so bad last season. The pitcher wall is gone. Obviously, there's still going to be some plays where you hit the ball back up the middle and it hits the pitcher. I mean, that's real life. The pitcher is there. He does exist. But that huge block, those animations where the ball bricks back and there's no way it should have hit him, it's going to be toned down tremendously. The pitcher wall nonsense is gone. Has power been nerfed is a question that was asked. I wouldn't say that power has been nerfed. I mean, we're in a power, not necessarily, I mean, it's not the steroid era, but baseball loves the long ball. I mean, you see the Yankees, they just set a New York Yankee record for home runs last season, and you could argue that Stanton, Sanchez, and Judge all had down years considering what you thought was going to come from them. They still set a record for home runs last year. So home runs are obviously still going to be in the game. I think the problem last year was more so power variety. It seemed like if you squared the ball up, it was gone, versus hard screaming line drives into the gap, those earned doubles and triples versus the cheesy wall bounce doubles and triples, those super high fly ball 87 exit velo but it gets to the wall type of doubles and triples, a wider variety of extra base hits on good swings I think is more so what we're looking for versus just nerfing power, because you still do want to be rewarded for perfectly squaring up a ball with someone who hits dingers in real life. I mean, if I'm getting good swings all the time with Mike Piazza and I can't seem to get the ball out of the yard, that's going to be just as frustrating as constantly hitting home runs on swings that aren't necessarily perfect. So I mean, it's definitely something that they need to find a balance for. But with that said, it will not be power dependent this year. The power dependency is not going to be what it was in MLB 18. Absolutely not, especially with contact hitters being effective and guys being able to get hard contact for singles more so than just home runs. From a pitching perspective, this is important. Last year, you could kind of spam off-speed pitches down and in. Specifically, splitters were disgusting in last year's game, almost impossible to hit. That down and in off-speed pitch. Here's the deal. Your 2 to 5 pitches will lose effectiveness the more you use them. So let's say most pitchers, their number 1 pitch is always going to be their fastball. If their changeup is their 2 pitch and their curveball is their 5 pitch, their curveball is going to be way less effective and way more hittable than the changeup, which is huge if they can do this correctly. Nonetheless though, it is San Diego Studios making an attempt to tone down the spamming of off-speed pitches and pretty much trying to turn down the exploit that is spamming down and in with pitching. And it was very real last season, especially with PCI placement issues. You could know daggone well that a splitter down and in was coming. It still felt nearly impossible to make contact with, and that's why batting averages all across the board in online play were down tremendously this past season. They are doing everything that they can to fix that. Secondary pitches losing effectiveness and pitch speeds coming up are 2 things that should really help fix this, and we're going in the right direction. So those are some of the big gameplay things that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Again, if you have any questions, comment down below. I'd love to have some conversation with you guys. Again, I just want to be a funnel for the community. Any information you guys have, any concerns, this is why I talk to you guys as much as possible on Twitter. When I'm on these trips with San Diego Studios or MLB, any situation where I can try and pass on information from the community to the devs, I'm gonna go ahead and try and do that. So I'd love to converse with you guys down below. I'm gonna pop the developer stream schedule up on the screen right now. So if you haven't already been keeping up with these streams, make sure you hop on it. I'm gonna have a video out in a couple of days discussing some more things that we've seen over the last couple of weeks since San Diego Studios started dropping more information on MLB 19. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about moments in March to October and go more in depth on Road to the Show. All things I'm excited about for MLB 19. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, thank you for your support on the channel. None of this would be possible without you guys. I love baseball. I love video games. And it's been a great ride. And this spring and summer, you know, I got the baby coming. That's my number 1 priority right now. But MLB 19 is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to grow this community and talk to you guys more, and hopefully we have a great game coming. All of the changes that I played with firsthand and that the team has been talking about in these streams, I'm super excited about these changes. I really think this could be a great game. So I'll talk to you guys again soon. We got a lot more MLB stuff coming out. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.
All right, so here's what's happening, right? I'm currently in the Denver airport in Colorado. I have a connecting flight to San Diego.
Your boys never had Smash Burger. It's going down.
You can officially add Smash Burger to the list of places way better than In-N-Out. That's for you, Timothy.
Morning, Cougs.
Hello, brother.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
We're here, man.
I'm trying to tie my shoe and I'm having trouble.
Get it done.
All right, ready for this? Boom, boom. Ready? And then
loop it.
Hit him with the boom. Hit him with the boom.
Swoop
hit
it.
him with the boom.
Pull it. Oh.
Yeah? Well, let's tell the
early in
people
the
about it. Why are you not vlogging right now,
You know what?
Buzz?
I was up at 6:15, so I'm awake. I have my coffee, but I'm just not trying to vlog. I'll leave it to you.
Me and this guy like slammed a 30
I'm lazy.
pack. We slammed a 30 pack last night, and this guy doesn't want to.
I had 1 beer. All right, I'm responsible. This guy, not responsible, okay?
Hey, I'm wide awake and doing what I do.
Yo, if you guys have never heard of something called Twitch Prime, at Fuzzy from YT, twitch.com.